inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Cool. Can we agree that sexual exploitation is any actual or attempted abuse of position of power, vulnerability, or trust for sexual gratifications?
Yeah.
Okay, he used his position as owner of the pageant to quote-unquote inspect it, but we know it wasn't his job because he said he gets away with things. He gets away with things like that, and he also described walking into a woman's only space, a dressing room.
Can we look over the quote? So he says, "And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it."
Which is why it's sexual exploitation. Yes.
Yeah, it's owner's privilege. He admits he chose to go in knowing that they were changing. So
there's the intentional walking into women's only space. No, so he can't go into a woman's only space even as the owner of the pageant.
Yeah, as an owner, he has the legitimate reason to check on things like safety and production.
In a woman's only space. Safety and production. Production is going to be.
Can you define what a woman's only? Wait, can you define what a woman's only space?
Yeah, no men are around.
Oh, okay, so a woman's only space is when.
No men are around. Yes.
I would hold that definition is just absurd.
Okay, then what's your definition of woman's only space?
I do have a question. If, let's say, like in the instance Trump owned a teen pageant, would it be wrong for him to walk in while teenagers were getting dressed?
Yeah.
That's what he did too, but what's a woman's only space? What is it? You said by definition that's absurd.
Yeah, a woman's space is just going to be like a space that's fundamentally a space where no men can permiss into.
So men cannot go into a woman's space?
Yeah, it's not. A woman's space isn't a space where no men are around. A woman's space is fundamentally a space where no biological men are permissed into.
So biological males, not men. If you want to be referencing biology, you have to get your terms right first off. Second off, so when I say a woman's only space is a space where no men are around, that is literally true by definition. Hold on, don't pivot. By definition, what I said is true. A woman's only space is a place where no men are around, by definition. So that's not absurd.
No, the permission isn't based on the fact that women are present. The permission is based on the fact that biological sex would grant you membership to that women's only space.
Which is why I didn't say the presence of women. I said the absence of
women's
presence
spaces
of men.
is granted by being of the biological sex female. It's not being on the presence of men. That's just a proxy for just sex-based differences.
We're talking about gender, not sex, first off.
Yeah, gender is a species sex-based classification system.
Sure. So hold on. You agreed that he did walk into these spaces where women were getting naked.
He didn't intentionally walk in.
You literally said he intentionally didn't. You said
also in the context of the conversation.
Wait, where was the
Howard? Hold on, I'm not done. Hold on. Yes, you did.
He walked in for protection.
Yeah, I'm not done. So the context
of the whole 2v1
conversation.
or 1v1?
Yeah. So, anyways, as I was saying,
you can see there's two people. Yeah.
So the context of the conversation with Howard Stern is talking about exploiting women and, sexually, not even gratifying them, just exploiting them sexually. So in the context of this conversation, he's talking about how he gets away, by his own words, he gets away with going into those rooms. Now, what exactly, if he's not doing anything wrong, what is he getting away with? Could you answer that?
So firstly, he's just getting wait, in the clip he said he's getting away with it?
Yes.
Okay, can I see where exactly he said that? I'm trying to look at the script.
Incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that. Incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that. Incredible
Go back 10
women.
seconds so you hear that.
And so I sort of get away with things like that. Looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that. Men or anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women.
Yes, that's based on safety. That's not like intention to enter one's
space. Oh, you missed it. He just said it again from that
with things like that. So I sort of get away with things. So I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, he's starting to get away.
So I sort of get away with things like that.
How is he getting away with that? What is he getting away? What is he getting away with exactly?
So I sort of get away with things like that. So I sort of get away with things like that. So I sort of get away with things like that. So I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, okay. So that's obviously not in the context.
That's not there. Hold on.
We played.
Hold on. What are you talking about? You're stupid. You're stupid. Get a grip on reality. Howard Stern asked him a question, and Donald Trump said, "Here's what I actually do." Donald Trump said, and I quote, well, this is what I do, right? And he described what he did. And then at the end of what he described, what he did, he said, and I get away with things like that. And he described what he got away with prior. You're stupid.
Yes.
Get a grip on
So
reality.
he framed it
Stop hating
as
on trans people.
inspecting. It was inspecting. It
But
wasn't
we know
a
it's not
sexual
inspecting.
appeal.
We know it's not. We know it's not an inspection.
Wait, how do you know it was an inspection?
Because
how
he
do you
said
know it wasn't inspecting?
because he said he gets away with things like that.
Yes, that's
And
not
also,
that's not an
Paul,
argument.
Paul,
If
we also
it were his job,
he's saying he gets away with things like that.
Hold on.
It's just
If
Trump
it were-
acknowledging
if
he was
it-
pushing.
If it were his job, he wouldn't be getting away, quote unquote, with doing an inspection. That's stupid.
Yes, so him getting away with that is just he has ownership status that crosses the.
Okay, where did
normal
prove it?
lines.
Prove he had ownership status. Prove it.
Prove that he had ownership status.
prove
with
it.
the. Yeah, I mean,
He
I
could walk
just-
into a woman's dressing room. Prove it.
Yeah, he had ownership status of the pageant.
Prove that he could walk into a woman's
Yeah,
only dressing room.
he
Prove
owned
it.
the Miss Universe organization.
Okay, but
He was-
prove that he could walk into a woman's only dressing room. Prove it.
Yes, because he is allowed
are you
to
proving
check
it
for
or you're
safety.
not proving it? You're not proving it.
Yes, because
Okay,
as the
let
owner
me
of the pageant,
let me ask you a
he-
hypothetical question then. Do you have a partner? Are you with someone? Do you have a partner?
He's probably
No? Okay. Let's say you hypothetically have a partner. Would it be okay for the owner of Kohl's to walk into your partner in a dressing room while they're naked just because they own the Kohl's, right? You would find that okay, right? Just to inspect the place, make sure that everything's okay. You would find it okay for the owner of Kohl's to walk into that dressing room and watch.
A pageant is different from Kohl's.
We're talking about
A
dressing
pageant
rooms.
is a
We're talking about
fashion
dressing
com-
rooms, dumbass.
Yes, a pageant.
So we're not talking about the
competition is
pageant or the
different
store.
from a shop.
We're not talking
They
about
are
the.
two
We're not
different contexts.
Okay, what is it? What is? Hold on. What is the difference? What is the difference between them?
Yes, a pageant competition is literally a dressing competition. Kohl's is some sort of shop
That's why I'm not
used to,
comparing
like-
the. That's why I'm not comparing
Yes,
the
there
store
are
and
two
the pageant.
completely different
You fucking
incidences,
dumbass.
which is why would it
I'm
be-
comparing the dressing rooms. You donut. Can you
Yes,
keep
the
track?
dressing rooms in
How are
two
the dressing rooms
specific
different?
different
How are the dressing rooms
locations.
different? Both are dressing rooms meant for only
Yes,
that specific person.
uh,
So how is it different? What's the difference?
Yes, the pageant space was solely meant for individuals to change into, and in the pageant space,
In the dressing room,
individuals
it's
may
meant for
have
people
troubles
to
getting.
think-
Individuals
Yes.
may have troubles putting on their clothes. Individuals may have
it's not Trump's
troubles
job. It's not
getting
Trump's
ready
job
for the
to fix that.
competition.
It's not-
Individuals
he's
in Kohl's have a curtain over their dressing room.
Hold on, are you
Individuals
saying
in a
that hold on,
dressing pageant.
Hold on, there was
have
a private only spaces for the dressing rooms as well.
Yes,
I don't know
and
if
he
they-
is
they
allowed
have
to
a
go
door
to
or
those
close. It's
private
the same exact
dressing
thing as a
spaces
Kohl's.
because he's allowed to help
bigger.
the women in the space.
Hold on, so repeat that.
He is allowed to help the women in the space because
Yeah,
he's the owner of the
where does it
competition.
say that? Where does it say that he's allowed to go into the dressing room?
Yes, as
Where?
an owner and an organizer of the pageant, he is allowed
Where?
to do
Provide
whatever
me
he
the
wants with
documents of
pageant.
provide me the rules or the guidelines from Miss Teen USA. Look up the rules and guidelines and
Wait,
tell me a
so-
source that cites Miss Teen USA. You're making a claim. Prove it. You
I'm
made a
not
claim
saying,
that
I'm
in
not saying
accordance
that
with
it's in
Miss
the
Teen USA.
guidelines.
Okay, so then how do you know he could?
But-
How do you
but
know
as
he
a-
had the authority?
Yeah. So obviously that there's not going to be like a public contract.
Okay, but there is a public contract.
Area.
But hold on. So you just admitted there's no public contract, but there is a public
obviously
contract.
a social context in which this is embedded.
But there's also there is a social construct that does not
I said
allow
context,
men-
not construct.
there is a social contract. I misspoke. There's a social contract that does not allow men into women's spaces. Right? You just said there's not a contract anywhere in Miss Teen USA or guidelines anywhere.
He is
that
allowed
allows Trump to go
specifically
in.
for his role.
According to who?
According to the social context of the situation,
What- where?
he
What
has de
social
facto
context?
power.
Yeah, according to who though?
Do you know what de facto power is?
Can you tell me according to who does he have that power?
Yes,
you
since
said it's
he
not written
ran
in the
Miss USA,
guidelines?
Miss Universe, Miss
Right.
Teen USA, he has the ultimate authority over the
Okay, so the
event.
same thing with the Kohl's
So
owner, right?
staff-
Because hold on. So the same thing with the Kohl's owner. Then the Kohl's runs a store, therefore they have authority to walk into the dressing room while
Yes,
your partner
Kohl's
is in
and
there
a
naked.
dressing pageant
The owner.
competition is completely two different things.
No, we're talking about the
and-
dressing rooms, not the individual different
Yes,
entities.
dressing
but
rooms
the
in a
dressing
pageant
rooms.
competition that's primarily based on competing on which dressing style is better. Like
It's still gonna be a private dressing room for specifically
yes, a
only
private
women.
dressing room
Ex-
that's
also
based on a
specifically
competition
Kohl's,
for
it's
who
the
can
same
dress
thing.
better, not a
Yeah,
Kohl's
because they
shop.
consent. They
There's
consent
two-
to be
they're
seen.
two different
They
competitions.
consent to be seen once they're dressed and out on the stage. They don't consent to be seen behind a room in a private women's dressing room. That's the difference. No men are allowed in a private women's dressing room. No men. That's a social contract.
Yeah, so
you're just wrong.
So Trump is allowed because he was the actual owner with legitimate business authority.
Okay, so was the owner of Kohl's. You haven't told me the exact difference.
No, because
You're just
the
saying
owner of Kohl's doesn't have
you're just
business-
saying Kohl's is a store and the pageant is a pageant. That's
Yes,
the difference.
because
We're
there's two
talking
different
about
contexts
we're talking
that
about the
were-
dressing rooms, not anything else. We're talking about the dressing rooms, not anything else.
There was two different contexts of the situation. For example, a person at Kohl's doesn't have practical power, but Trump has practical
Why?
power, and there's
Why?
no formal prohibition
What's the
against
difference?
him.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah,
difference?
there was no public evidence that shows that there was a strict written policy at the time, but several former
Hold on,
contestants
you said that there's a
confirmed-
difference. You said that there's a difference
Wait,
between the
several
powers that both owners have.
contestants-
Hold on. You said that there was a difference between the powers both owners had. What is the difference between a Kohl's owner and a pageant owner, i.e.
Yeah,
Donald Trump?
one
that
had
makes it the difference?
one had practical power, the other one didn't.
How?
In
How?
private businesses,
Wait,
owners,
hold on. How?
Yeah, in private businesses, owners often have de facto access that regular employees or outsiders don't. So as long as he wasn't physically assaulting someone, it was a gray area rather than just like clear
No, it's literally not a
illegality.
gray area. That's
It
that's
was.
sexual exploitation. Because you
It was a
agreed.
gray area because
you
he-
hold on.
it's
Hold
a-
on. You
it
agreed
was a
that
private
using
business.
you agreed that any actual attempted abuse of position of power
There was
or
literal
vulnerability or
counter
trust
testimony.
is for sexual gratification.
There
is
was
sexual
literal
exploitation.
counter- there was
You agreed
literal
with that
counter-
definition. You agreed with that definition. So in accordance with your view that you agreed to,
Wait,
it
how-
would be sexual exploitation because he literally used his position of power to watch them get naked, watch them have no clothes on, and watch them get dressed.
Can you repeat your definition one more time?
Yeah, any actual or attempted abuse of position of power, vulnerability, or trust for sexual gratification. You said you agreed to that.
Where was the intent of sexual gratification?
Did you
mentioned in the
you
clip?
agreed with that? Yeah, you agree with that? Yes or no?
Yeah,
right?
but where was the intent of sexual gratification?
In the context within the conversation.
Wait,
you want to listen
let's
to
see
the whole
let's see
conversation?
where in the context.
Sure, we'll hear the whole conversation.
Yeah.
We strip it out all over
No,
the
I would
country.
say I'm the all-time judge.
Right? You're a
Right.
powerful man.
Right.
Mr. Trump. You own this pageant. You go over, you're meeting the girls and stuff. One of them comes up to you and says, Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
Well, you're a powerful man. Right? Right? You're a
Right.
powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you. Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. No,
Right.
but I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're
Well,
a guy
you
who
should
likes
be-
to have everything. Right?
Well, could that be construed, however, as
Conflict?
yes?
I don't see it as a
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict
Yeah, I
a little
mean,
bit later.
you're forgetting the fact that this is a shock doc
No,
show.
I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
so you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go.
That is a sexual context within the
Wait,
conversation.
can you mention explicitly where in the quote it says like a sexual context?
Did you not understand the sexual context
Yeah,
within
I'm
the
asking
conversation?
where specifically.
So can you agree that this was a sexual conversation in regard to the
Yeah,
pageants? Yes.
and I'm asking you.
Cool.
where
So then, thanks
exactly-
for that concession. Move on to your next
Wait, where
point.
exactly is the?
You
sexual
literally just said
context?
yes. So thanks for the concession.
Wait, did I say
don't have-
yes?
Yes,
Where
you
was
did.
the yes.
You literally said yes. Do you want me to play
I
it back?
didn't.
Do you want me to play? How much money do you want to bet on that?
Yeah, a
You
dollar.
put money. How much money? $100? $100 that you said yes right now. Yes or no? Do you want to bet?
Sure.
Cool. That is a sexual context within the
Wait,
conversation.
can you mention explicitly where in the quote it says like a sexual context?
Did you not understand the sexual context
Yeah,
within
I'm
the
asking
conversation?
where specifically.
So can you agree that this was a sexual conversation in regards to the
Yeah,
pageants? Yes.
and I'm asking you.
Cool. So you said yes.
Wait, you think yeah
Twice.
implied an affirmation?
I asked you a
Wait,
question
you
and
said
you answered
you
yes.
said I said yes, not yeah.
Yes and yeah are the exact same
No,
thing.
no, they're not.
What's the
Yeah,
difference between
in the
yes and
term that
yeah?
I was referencing. I was just saying.
Well, what's the
like, okay,
difference
you said
between
that.
yes and yeah? What's the difference between yes and yeah?
Yeah?
What
it's
is
just like
what is the dictionary definition of yes, and then what is the dictionary definition of yeah?
doesn't mean an affirmation.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
so what
just
is the
like-
dictionary definition of both words? Go ahead.
Yeah, like in a colloquial usage.
No, what is the
mean an
dictionary
affirmation.
definition of both words?
Wait, why would a dictionary
Can you tell me the
mean
dictionary
colloquial
definition of both
usage?
words? Yes or no?
Wait, why would a dictionary definition mean colloquial
Can you
usage?
tell me the dictionary definition of both words? Yes or no?
Yeah. Okay, from Merriam-Webster. Often.
So
used
when I asked you, can
passively-
you tell me the
Yeah, I'm
definition
giving you
of,
the
of both
Merriam-Webster
words? You said
dictionary.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
right?
giving
So you just
the,
proved
I'm
your own
giving you
point
the
wrong
Merriam-Webster
when
dictionary.
answering my question again. Right?
Wait, do
you
you want
people
the
answer
Merriam-Webster
questions with
dictionary?
yeah. Okay, that's stupid. You're arguing a stupid point because you know
Often
you're losing.
used sarcastically, like yeah, right, and yeah, sure, to express doubt and disbelief.
Yeah, sure.
That
that's
was the
somewhat- that's
colloquial
agreeing.
usage I was using it not yes.
You said yeah, which means yes.
Yes, yeah, as in doubt or
Yeah,
disbelief.
yeah means doubt. So when I ask
Yes,
you, when you-
according to Merriam-Webster.
yeah,
you ain't
sure,
getting
sure.
no
You said
money,
Merriam-Webster?
dog. Yeah. Let's go on Merriam-Webster and search up definition.
thought
You
you
can
were
look at
just
the
on
second
there.
definition.
I thought you were just on there.
Yeah, I'm on there. I just showed it to you.
Let's see. Yeah is yes. That's literally what it says. We can scroll down.
the second definition.
Let's see the second definition. Sure, but I was right. Can you concede that it literally does mean yes, in
It could
accordance with
mean
the
yes.
definition of
It
Merriam-Webster?
could mean yes, but I'm a semantic internalist.
So
So I
then you
don't
didn't.
hold
So hold
that
on.
semantics.
So to be clear, you didn't answer my question then, right? You didn't answer it.
Yes. Wait, it could mean yes.
Did you answer my question? Yes or no?
your question on whether it includes sexual context?
Did you were you able to catch the sexual
No, I
context?
I didn't answer your question.
So are you denying or affirm? Are you
Because I was
denying?
asking
Hold on,
a
hold on.
clarification
Are you
question.
denying or affirming that there was sexual context in the conversation?
Yeah, I'm denying it.
Okay,
Because
sure.
you-
Let's play it back again and let's try to use common sense this time.
Wait, do you want me to give you the
You want
$100?
to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything, right?
Well, could that be construed, however, as
Conflict?
yes?
I don't see it as a
It
conflict.
could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
I tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as
This
the
is a
owner
shock
of the
jock show,
pageant,
by
it's your
the way.
obligation to do.
Oh, yeah, we have some breaking news. AP News reported 10 minutes ago, the U.S. military says it carried out self-defense strikes in Iran, including missile launch strikes.
And
The
they
U.S.
ate
military
that.
said on Monday that it carried out
They ate
quote-unquote
that.
self-defense strike defense in southern Iran, including
They
one
ate
missile
that.
launch sites and boats placing mines.
Right.
U.S. CENTCOM says the strikes were done to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces, but it was quote,
Right.
used restraint during the ongoing ceasefire.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this might be a restart to the war. I'll let you guys know. Stay tuned for more. Anyways, yeah. So, did you catch the sexual
war.
reference, or do you want me to play it again?
Iran doesn't even have nuclear capabilities. What war? Anyways, what'd you say?
Trump calls it a war, by the way. Yeah. So
no, it's a
Trump
genocide.
doesn't call it. Trump doesn't call it a war.
It's a genocide.
Does so? Is it?
It's not a
does-
war. It's a genocide. He literally killed Iranian children.
I'm not denying that he killed Iranian
Yeah,
children.
so it's a genocide. It's not a war. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the next on the topic prior. So,
Sure, so did you catch the sexual context behind that, the conversation, or do you want me to say exactly what they said back? You know what? I will say it exactly for you. Quote unquote, we say hello with vagina. We could also say, as the owner
That
of
was
the
what
pageant,
Howard Stern
it's
said,
your
not Trump.
But this is you
That
gotta
was
you
what
gotta.
Howard Stern
I'll
said.
hold on, shut up, because I'm gonna repeat it with context.
So Trump didn't imply anything sexual. That was
No,
Howard Stern.
he answered to a sexual implication.
Wait,
so
so,
let's
you
just-
think that Trump made the
So hold on,
implication?
hold on. So Howard Stern says, I mean, some of these foreign girls, my Mr. Trump in my country, we say hello with vagina. And then Donald Trump says, well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that, which is what Howard Stern was referencing. So Donald Trump is referencing what Howard Stern had said prior, which is
Yeah,
we say
I would
hello
just
with vagina.
argue-
And then Howard Stern said, so you have done that, in reference to Donald Trump saying he does do that, and that's in reference to Howard Stern saying
Yeah, I
we
would
say
just
hello
argue
with
that
vagina.
this is just like
and then Donald Trump clarifies, I'll tell you the funniest thing is that when I go backstage before a show and everyone's getting dressed and ready
Yeah,
and everything
Trump
else,
was
and
just
he admits to sexual
Trump was
exploitation.
just being an incel in this clip. He wasn't.
Oh,
being
so now he's
sexual.
being an incel. Now he's
Yeah.
being an incel. Now
Trump
he's
literally-
being an incel. Sure.
Trump was literally on a talk show that was a shock job.
Can you agree that it was sexual though, right?
No, because the whole
But
program
are you
was
denying
built
that
on
hold on, Paul.
It
Are
was
you
built on
denying?
incel
Are
content.
you hold on? Are you denying that conversation was sexual?
Yes. It wasn't
You're fucking
inherently
stupid.
sexual.
You are stupid.
And immediately
No, you're
he
stupid.
self-corrected. He said,
You're
"But
stupid.
no, I've been very good." It shows that he
When
was
did he?
aware that
When
the
did he
stories
say?
sound bad.
When did he say? "Quote, no, I've been very good." When did he say that?
Yeah, you can replay the clip.
Do
Right
you
after
want-
after the line.
He said, "Well, hold on." He said, and I quote, I've been very good."
Yeah,